All right, welcome inside for another edition of SJHL Weekly. It's the final episode before the Christmas break. It was a big weekend. We're going to recap that. Plus, we got a big week coming up. We got a whole lot of stuff going on. And we're going to be joined on the show today by Flin Flon Bombers forward Wyatt Stinton, who is fresh off a silver medal performance at the Junior A World Challenge with Team Canada West, of course. So a fun show today. Players of the Week coming up. And later in the show, it's our annual edition. Something we love to do every single year. It's a lot of fun for us. Santa gifts, SJHL Santa gifts, what each team might get from Santa for Christmas this year. So we always have fun with that. So that'll come up later in the show after Players of the Week. But first, let's thank our sponsors, and it starts with Cantera Seeds, Capital Auto Mall, Canalta Hotels, SGEU, Sask Lotteries, UPL, Chevrolet, Great Western Brewing Company, SaskTel, RBC, Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association. I was typing the word company as I said that. And Vaderstad, the Viking Cup sponsor, which is coming up. We don't have a ton of news around that because we did obviously a big week of news last week. So, but it is an exciting event. Maybe we'll touch on it later on. But anyways, before we get started, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, please hit the like button, hit the share button, comment in. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what maybe you want to give out some Santa gifts to a team of your favorite team. If you do, throw the Santa gift in the comment now. Tell us what team you're giving it to and let us know why. But joining me today is my gift. He's my gift today. Jamie Neugebauer. Jamie, thanks for joining me today.
I did have somebody named Kelsey Peterson message me, be like, how can we get little Nugsy the little figurines that are behind you, I think.
What?
Is that on Insider? Maybe that's just on Insider.
It's just on the Insider.
Sorry, anyways, there's like a figurine of little Nugsy on the Insider
on the set. And
she's like, how can we get some of those? And I said, well, that would be a good Christmas present.
Kelly Lewick, get on it. Make some actual physical copies of that.
Wait,
get on it.
It's not physical?
What? No, I didn't say that. It's real. Everything's real.
Everything's real.
Everything is real.
Perception is reality.
Yes. Speaking of real, there was a real good weekend that we just got through in the SJHL. And, you know, Nugsy, a lot of home and homes, a lot of back-to-back games, and a lot of opportunity for teams to really take a huge step. But it didn't quite happen, and we'll get to that. We'll get to why that happened in the headlines. But let's start with the recap scoreboards. The Sask Lotteries look back, and we'll take a look at the Elk Ridge scorecards. So again, home and homes and back-to-backs was kind of the theme to this weekend. The Melville Millionaires Estevan Bruins had a two-game set. Melville won game one, 5-1. Weyburn was up in Warman for 2. They got game 1, 7-4. Flin Flon was in Battlefords for 2, or did they flip-flop? They might have flip-flopped. Battleford's got game 1, 4-2, and then Humboldt, the battle of the horses, the two-horse race. Humboldt got game 1, 4-2, and then on Saturday, a lot of rematches, and then Nipawin and Kindersley got into the fold. So Estevan got their revenge, 6-3. Flin Flon got their revenge, 6-3. Melfort got an overtime win in their revenge, 3-2. Kindersley started their weekend off with a 2-1 win over Nipawin in Kindersley, and then Weyburn this is the only one where they actually swept the weekend. Weyburn swept Warman with a 7-5 win. A lot of goals in that series. And then on Sunday, one more game. Nipawin got their revenge, 5-2. So out of the, 5 series over the weekend, Nugsy, there was 10 of the 12 teams were in action. Out of the 5 series, 4 of them were splits. So let's bring up the headlines now as we kind of dive into the hot topics. We'll start with the one series that was not a split, and that was the Weyburn Red Wings, who have kind of taken a chokehold on first place now in the league, Nugsy. The Wings are soaring, as we said in the headlines. They got 2 big wins over Warman. They're the only team right now with a winning streak over 2 games. They have a 4-game win streak rolling right now. And Weyburn is the only SJHL team represented in this week's edition of the CJHL Top 20 put together by the CJHL, Nugsy. So the Wings right now are soaring. They're as hot as anybody right now.
Yeah, they have scored more goals than anybody in the league at this point. They're averaging over 4 a game. You know, you bring in a guy, you know, obviously you have Nate Stevens, he's around, but you bring him in to play regularly. We believe that Preston Patnott is dealing with a bit of an illness, so hopefully he gets back soon. But it's a good situation if you're a goalie, if you're putting up 7 goals a game. Right. As good as those guys have been, because they've been good. I'm not taking anything away from them, but they scored 14 goals against Warman over these 2 games. And including the third period there on Saturday, Weyburn played absolutely suffocating hockey. They were terrific in the third period and were full value for it. I give them all the credit. They scored I think 5 goals in 4 minutes and 33 seconds, something like that, to really turn this game around. And again, the Warman Wolverines continue to show maybe a little immaturity in the way that they play, the way that they deal with leads, the way that they deal with situations. But again, Weyburn, from the start of the year, I've talked about it, the way that they have taken those lessons that they learned from the final and applied them right away to play playoff style hockey. And the question that we had, Clark, was how do they replace Jerome Maharaj and Ethan DK, their offense? Well, the answer that Cody Mapes gave you in the preseason preview was by committee, and it has really been by committee. You look at the scoring, Callis Pierce, Drew Moldy, Josh Sale, Ryder Rommelaire, all of them really chipping in a lot. And again, it goes down the list. Obviously, Simon Martin's back there, Luke Schrader's back there, Josh Carman's back there. The goal that Schrader scored when a lot of other defensemen were out of the lineup for Weyburn against Yorkton that we went to see was unbelievable in overtime there. So, Weyburn, they have pieces everywhere, and if there's a team that looks the most ready in the league to play playoff hockey right now, I would probably say the Weyburn Red Wings. Yeah, and this was the message out of Weyburn preseason was, maybe we lost like 150 goals because, they lost some pretty big players. Max Chakrabarty, you mentioned Maharaj, DK, Jackson Ruthven. And Max Chakrabarty, sorry to interrupt you, was doing great at Augustana D1, playing regularly for them too. So sorry for interrupting.
No, that's exactly it. And so they lost a big chunk of offense, and we're like, well, they better be hard to score against because that's going to be tough to replace. And here they are. Cody Mapes is laughing in his office right now because they're first in the league in goals for. So
let's be honest. No coach in the league laughs at us more than Cody Mapes, probably. Anyway, so
shout out to Cody.
It's all good. Shout out. But I know I hammer it week in, week out to special teams.
Yeah.
They have 6 shorthanded goals already this year, Weyburn. They have a 23.3% power play. That's second in the league. That's more than good enough.
Yep.
Their penalty kill is 82.2%, more than good enough. They're just ticking all the boxes right now. And on the Sports Cage, segment they had with Benny, they were making fun of us for where we put Weyburn in the power rankings. That came out before they had sort of a 3-game win streak.
Yeah.
So whatever. But still, they're full value for being in the SJHL rankings.
Yeah, and literally last week we had a segment or a headline called "The Elites," and we left Weyburn out of it.
Yeah.
And again, now Cody is just sitting in his office with his feet up on his desk,
That's a nice
being
cold beer. But to be fair, we made that right when Weyburn was dealing with a lot of illness and injury and stuff. So
Anyways, what do we know, right? But we're moving on to topic number 2. Again, Weyburn, they're playing unbelievably right now. And topic number 2 is welcome to Splitsville, because every other series in this weekend of the other 4 series that happened all ended in splits. Humboldt did end up taking an extra point out of an overtime game, but otherwise, every single, if you look at the streaks right now on the SJHL.ca standings page, every single team is either 1-0 or 0-1 right now, basically, across the rest of the league. So, Nugsy, it was a big weekend. Why don't we start with the Bungie Division game, or matchup between Estevan and Melville? We'll quickly touch on that one, because Melville, they're coming around, and I'm thinking maybe they're kind of serving notice to the rest of the league. Like, hey, you know what? They were just out of a playoff spot about a week ago. They're not anymore, and they're saying, hey, we're for real. They took a big win from Estevan, but they also lost to Estevan because Estevan is really good. I don't know if you've noticed. They're pretty solid, but it was a good weekend, I would say, overall for Melville, I would think. Yeah,
it was. I think penalty trouble maybe cost them a little bit on Saturday, the Mills, but they have some genuine superstars in our league. I know we think about Melville being a system team, being a Doug Johnson team, but we need to start looking at, and obviously we've looked at Boston, Harkness and Cale Margolis kind of in that light all year, but you start throwing some other names in that group. Obviously Oatman, he has been so good getting Wesley Golden back. He was so good coming back from his long-term injury on the back end, and that really makes Melville's decor a lot better, especially given how injured and hurt they are right now, besides Harkness and Olsen. So it's a situation too where I've said it many times, if teams buy into what Doug Johnson preaches, they're gonna win a lot of hockey games. Obviously, they brought in Spencer Dahl. He's been sick, so guess what? Noah Synagowicz, What's your motivation like now if you're Noah Synagowicz to come in and really make a good statement, to have a good performance? Because you can see your ice time isn't going to be where you want it to be if you don't show up when you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
And he really did that this weekend, did Synagowicz. And so often you talk about young goaltenders in situations where they're forced to be the guy, they're forced to have a big role, and whether they're talented or not, they can often struggle if they're not being pushed. And in the situation of Synagowicz, now he's knows that he's going to be there. Spencer Dahl knows that he's going to be there. That situation is settled. The guys are settled, knowing that they got great goaltending. That was a beautiful goal. There were some great goals. There were some great goals just all around this week, by the way. Didn't mention Mormon's Vinny Palmerine scored an absolute beautiful end-to-end rush goal too. But look, this Melville team, again, they're not just system. They can play offense. They can score. Talked about too how Doug Johnson gets his guys, believes in letting his guys be creative in the offensive zone. Yeah, he holds guys more accountable than maybe some coaches do, but he also says, hey, go out there and figure it out. And the last thing I'll say is they brought in Hudson Binder from Weyburn in a sort of a last-second move, and 2 goals in 2 games after not scoring at all. That was another beautiful one there for Edmundson.
Yep.
Had a great weekend. But 2 goals in 2 games for Binder, for Melville after not scoring any for Weyburn. And that's just an opportunity sort of thing. But this is going to be a good matchup. And anytime, I've said it before, right? Anytime two big Bungie divisions teams get together, it's going to be fun.
It is, and it has been, and it will be for the rest of this season, I think. Let's continue this exact topic on with Nipawin and Kindersley's weekend. Again, a split. Got some revenge on Sunday, and it just seemed like Nipawin, I should say, got some revenge on Sunday because Kindersley won the first game. But it just seemed like 2 really good teams, 2 really well-matched teams, and just a really generally pretty good weekend for both. Obviously, they both, again, it was a split. So one team had probably a better game one night, the other team had a better game the other night, but generally 2 very good teams here in Nugsy.
Well, Kindersley, I think, probably would say that they played a bit better, to be honest. Over the 2 games, Gage Roberts had to make a ton of stops, and he did it, and we know Gage can do it, and there's going to be weeks where Nipawin will overwhelm you, and there are weeks where they need Gage Roberts, and that's just the way that things go. 43 save win. Obviously, it was in Kindersley, so you expect the onus to be, on the Clippers to really push the pace and push the tempo. And again, the up and down season that it is for the Kindersley Clippers continue. The thing that's maybe one of the most bizarre stats in the SJHL right now is the Nipawin Hawks power play is at 17.6%. You think with all the guns that they have, you still don't want to be giving them chances, but you think with like a guy like Mason Karkachuk and Connor Watson, these guys are just going to be made for the power play. But,
well, their new first line, which is exciting, and sorry to cut you off, but just to add to what you're saying about Nipawin, I saw on Sunday they threw out Karkachuk, Hoynes, and Jockums as their new first line.
Not bad.
And boy, just the way the addition of Braden Jockums, and I'm going to get to this a little bit later on in the show for Santa's Gifts, Nugsy, just a little teaser there.
Yeah.
But the way Braden Jockums strengthens this team's forward group that was already so strong, it's nuts. So just a little bit of a teaser for later on in the show, and just kind of adding to what you're saying about this team. It's just such an impressive group.
But it's just like it was playoff style. It was tense. It was tense. And actually, Nipawin only gave up 2 goals each game, so they could have come away with both. And again, it had a lot to do with Gage because he made all sorts of stops. Continued to generate chances all night, both nights for Kindersley. Things are still looking good. They're still playing a great process. But Splitsville, I think that might be a regular theme because the parity in this league we always talk about every year. But it is something even more crazy this year than ever.
Yeah.
So it's been crazy to watch.
And it definitely didn't help, like we mentioned a little bit earlier, with the CJHL's top 20, because that mathematical formula is heavily based. For those who don't know, and we get messages about this almost weekly. Yeah. So for those who don't know, the CJHL top 20 rankings that you see every week, yes, we share it. Yes, whatever. but it's heavily mathematical. It's all about win percentages for the most part. There is, I think, whatever the formula is, it's not just win percentage, but it's heavily win percentage.
Yeah.
So a split weekend where everybody splits, not good for win percentages. Therefore, Weyburn's the only team right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Rockland, CCHL, they're number one. There are some bad teams in the CCHL.
Right.
No disrespect meant. And then you look at like Niverville, the MJ, like obviously Mike McCauley's put together a great team in Niverville. I'm not taking anything away.
Yeah.
But there are some like nights you're just like, we're going to win in the MJ. Where in the SJ, you play Warman. Warman was up 4-1 in the third period on the best team in the league, and they're the worst team in the league in terms of the standings.
Yeah.
When do you see a 12 team be up 4-1 on the first place team?
Right.
And they obviously Weyburn found a way, but my point stands.
Your point stands. Okay, we'll move on to topic number 3 here in the headlines. Again, we're gonna continue with the split topic, but we are gonna move on to topic 3, which is the nutrient is up for grabs. And again, because of some of the splits, but also because Humboldt got 3 out of 4 points this weekend, they've moved. Maybe we'll throw up the division standings graphic, Jordan, if you don't mind, because the nutrient division is quickly becoming a 3-team battle. And it has been for a good chunk of the season, but with Battlefords emerging as much as they have, Kindersley and Humboldt were battling, and for a while it kind of looked like maybe it was just going to be the two of them. But with Battleford's emergence, Humboldt kind of stumbling a bit, and Kindersley 4-6 in the last 10. All of a sudden, this nutrient division is becoming a really, really interesting one, and it could be any of these 3 teams. Now, if we think about Battlefords, they've probably been playing. Well, they have been. If you look at their past 10, this isn't a hot take, but they've been playing the best hockey in that division in the last, month or so. Humboldt's been struggling. Kindersley's been up and down. And all of a sudden, like, this could be any team's division. And we say, Humboldt, they really, really struggled. Like, it's like disastrously, I would say, in the last month. But it's still, they could turn this around like that, because really a lot of their issues have been health related for the most part. And maybe their team structure just has they haven't had the right lineup in every night. So it's just been kind of scrambly. But they could easily have a good rest of this week upcoming before Christmas and jump right back. So the nutrient division, Nugsy, I guess the topic, I'll just throw it over to you, is at this point in the season, who's your favorite to win the nutrient division?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. In the preseason, our preseason preview, we're like, this is going to be between Kindersley and Humboldt. They're just the other two, you're along for the ride, kind of. Like, obviously, we're being more respectful than that. But, man, Battleford's amazing. Again, I hammer special teams a lot. Battleford's penalty kill is elite. 84.3% is good. 7 shorties. They have the most shorties in the league, too, Battlefords. They're dangerous. Zacharias is back. And Finley Klippenstein, I messaged Owen Lamb, the assistant coach of the Battleford North Stars. I said, do we know if Finley Klippenstein is human? Because I think he's got 15 goals in his last 14 games, something like that, and 16 on the year. So he had 1 in 10 when he first came to the league. But look, Finley has been so consistent for them. He does not miss his opportunities. He's on some sort of heater. And we've talked about it a bunch, even with Steele Bass gone to the Western League with their goaltender in PA there with Team Czechia at the World Juniors. Caden Serpa is shown to be more than able. So look, this Battleford's team, they play a hard game. They play a game that depends on you to make mistakes at times. But if you do make those mistakes, they have these clinical guys. Obviously, what do you think about when you talk about Raiden Zacharias? You think about a guy that doesn't need too many opportunities. Is he going to be involved? Does he look like he's part of the game every time he's out there? Maybe not as much as he'd like, but a goal, 2 goals, when you get 2 or 3 chances, that's Raiden Zacharias to a T. And obviously, guys like Kinetic, like Campbell, like Nardelli can create. So it's actually a pretty deep roster, pretty balanced roster. And, Granger and Lincoln Fisher on the back end keep playing terrific hockey. I'm sure they're thinking and looking to maybe add more depth on the back end, as we talk about trade deadline stuff, maybe in the next couple of weeks. But Connor Logan's done a great job. And this Battleford's team, they're no joke. They've shown they can go in any rink, on any patch of ice against anybody and beat them. And I think that's a scary prospect if they keep this going. It's a team that doesn't care who they're facing. I talked about it on Insider. They got that inner conceit. They don't care who you are. And I love that about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really, really interesting team in Battleford's circumstances. And when you look at Kindersley and Humboldt, the other two teams that we're talking about here, again, Humboldt's they hit a monumental, disastrous slide. But they're not a monumentally bad team.
I wouldn't say it's a disastrous slide.
By their standards is all I mean.
It's been brutal, for sure. It's been tough, but they could, as you said too, they can have a couple good weeks, which they're certainly capable of.
And I would argue they just had a good weekend. 3 out of 4 points.
Well, and the goal that the tying goal that Saddlemeyer scored was just terrible luck, just on the half wall.
Yep.
Like McElwain, just like Don Cherry always talked about, right? With your stick as a D-man, make sure it's close to your body if you're trying to block a shot, and use your body to block the shot. Not blaming McElwain, but he kind of reached out to try to block the shot, just over and it was just pretty unfortunate for Brady Holtvoet to try to arc in over his head. But that's what they talk about, having a good stick, in that situation. And then your cousin there, Binner.
Yeah, I know, Caleb Binner got the game winner.
Got the game winner.
Yeah.
But great save there by Holtvoet, who, by the way, just back from the Western League, and Charlie Tritt's not healthy right now. There's the game-winning goal. I'm sure Brady would like it back, but otherwise Brady was terrific on the night. Yeah. Again, Humboldt's not playing badly. They're actually healthy. Nathan De Silva's been a perfect fit. Knutsen's back in there. McElwain is back in there. I'm sure they'll keep looking. Cameron Grande looks like a nice, solid defensive pick to pick on the back end.
Yep.
Maybe they need a little bit more jam up front. We'll see what happens, but we'll see what direction Braden Klamosko and company want to go.
Well, the other team in that equation, the Humboldt Broncos equation, this weekend was the Melfort Mustangs, and that leads us to topic number 4. It's a crazy one. This isn't one that I expected necessarily to be talking about on December 15th, but the topic number 4 is buy or sell the stable. And this is going to directly lead to our conversation we had with Rick Oakes on Thursday's episode of SJHL Insider. If you missed it, go back and check. Obviously, it was about the Viking Cup largely, but we did throw in a little question about the Melfort Mustangs season so far and kind of where they're at, because Rick Oakes is obviously the head scout and he does a lot of personnel work for Melfort. And we just kind of asked him, hey, 10th place right now. Can't really hide that fact. I'm sorry. And I know Commissioner Kyle gave me a hard time.
Yeah, but Rick didn't shy away.
No, it was. I don't think it was harsh. They won back-to-back championships.
Yeah.
And this happened exactly the same way. Weirdly, actually, exactly the same way in 2014, 15, 16 when they won back-to-back championships. They were 10th place the next year. So it's the exact same. You can't win championships every year. It's very hard to win 1. It's extremely hard to win 2. 3 is almost, if not unheard of.
But sorry for interrupting. Are you done your point?
No, yeah, more or less.
Apologize. I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
But I've talked to a bunch of coaches in this league. Like a bunch. No, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying I talked to one, so I'm talking about. I talked to 3, 4, 5.
I know some people
coaches.
who do that.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 coaches in this league I've talked to have said, if Melfort gets in, we do not want to face them.
Yeah.
Because they know how to win. They are going to be heavy. Trevor Blevins is back from Canada West now, obviously. We'll talk to Wyatt Stinton about that in maybe more detail. But look, this Melfort team has all this experience and all these players still. It's not like they've all disappeared.
Yeah.
They still have a great core, and there's no reason to be too worried. Now, the thing is whether Melfort believes that gap is too big or not. We don't know.
What is it? 8? It's 8 points right now, I think.
Yeah. So that is a gap, but it's. And another
9
point
points.
about that too
9
is
points.
Who do you really see of the group ahead of them really going on a big slump? That's what they kind of need at this point.
They got to gain points on somebody.
They got to gain points,
right?
but obviously they can only take care of the business that they can take care of. But it's a situation where they have the experience. They have a pretty old, crew. They're not the youngest team in the league. That's Warman by a mile, by the way.
Yeah.
But they're competitive despite being outshot. They still don't give up goals.
Yeah.
They've given up the 4th fewest goals in the league. They just can't score right now.
Yeah.
And if they get some more offense, maybe a Drew Mushumansky can really settle in and kind of get going. Because you and I called him at the showcase last year, and boy, was he unreal.
Good.
You're right. He was probably the best player on the ice. So if you could do that again for Melfort, and maybe they get the power play going, If Matamalaka can just stay healthy for a longer period of time, there's all sorts of things that
they have all the pieces.
Well.
But, and that's what we've been saying all year. That's why this is so
I just
weird.
feel like so many things have gone wrong more than anything,
Sure.
So.
But I guess to finish my point from earlier, what I was going to say was Rick Oakes was very adamant. We're confident in this group. Maybe things just hasn't quite gone our way, but we feel good about this group. So in my opinion, to me, that says they're not going to be sellers. Like there might be a move. And when I was talking to a friend about this recently, I said, maybe there's a way for them to shuffle the deck, but not necessarily not sell, not fire sale the team. Maybe like one move where they trade an older player for a couple of younger players, a la the Clay Sleva trade from a couple years ago, where they traded Clay Sleva, Yorkton to Melfort, and Melfort sent David Coyle back the other way, like a very good 19-year-old at the time. Something like that, where it just kind of shuffles things around a little bit, and they fill a team need or something, or just a different look on the team roster, but it doesn't make them worse. Something along those lines.
It's an interesting theory, and I don't think Trevor Blevins understands how to like unload and retool for next year. Anyways, like that's what I mean.
I feel like I doubt
we'll see what happens.
But
Austin Mattis, the voice of the Swift Current Broncos, by the way, tuned in and had a great comment. Great to hear from you, Austin.
Hey, Austin.
And I think the comment was something about, is this the most parity we've seen in the league past 5 years? Yes. This is the most parity we've seen, I would think, since the 18-19 season, back when it was sort of...
That was 205 years ago.
Yeah, like nine teams deep were really good kind of that year.
That
like,
joke
it was
went
crazy.
nowhere. Jordan probably liked it.
It was, like for example, the Survivor Series between Notre Dame and Yorkton, but those were two really good hockey teams going 8 versus 9. So I was like, and Yorkton ended up upsetting Notre Dame, which didn't make me happy at the time. But anyways, I'd say probably since that year.
Cody Mapes will probably laugh at us again because that's
what he does.
I'm downplaying Weyburn's success so far in this statement that I'm about to say. But in terms of is this the most parity? I think because we haven't seen a team run away with it yet, like we have in the last 5. Was his comment? If you could put it up one more time, Jordan. I think it was in the last 5 years or so. Yeah, in the past 5 years. Because every year, and Austin was, he missed the Battleford's dominance years. But basically, what I'm trying to say
is he was in Flin Flon with Rob Hart when that happened.
But I guess in the last 5 years, we've seen a otherworldly dominant Battleford's team or two, an otherworldly dominant Flin Flon team, and a really, really dominant Melfort team. So to me, there hasn't been that team that's just like, oh my gosh, they are wrecking the league. It's like 8 or 9 very good teams, and then a really curious 10th team, and then 2 teams at the bottom in Warman and Larange who give you a hard time a lot of nights, more nights than not.
That's right.
So that's where I think, to Austin's question and to your point, yes, I think this is the most parity we've seen, simply because right now, if you asked 100 SJHL hardcore fans, bias aside, of course, because there's going to be like the Austin Cardells of the world that'll be like, well, Flin Flon's winning for sure. Okay, but like if you ask 100 fans right now who the favorite is to win the league, you'd probably get
Speaking of Austin Cardell.
Hey, I saw his name, that's why I brought him up. Shout out to Austin. You'd probably get a ton of different answers.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a majority saying one team. You're not going to get more than probably 20 people in that 100 that would say a single team. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's very spread out this year in a very good way, and it's keeping us on our toes. Every week we aren't quite sure what we're going to be doing on a weekly basis. So there you go. Nugsy, odds and ends. We spent a lot of time on that one. Odds and ends, you will have the Junior A
challenge.
Just kind of a recap, more or less.
Yeah, so, congratulations. They won the games that they really needed to win.
Yep.
That was the semifinal against Canada East.
Yep.
That was on Saturday, and they found a way to win that. And unfortunately, Tate Timmerman picked up an injury in that game, but he and Luke McKechnie were both perfect in a 2-0 win. And so they won that game. That guarantees them the medal, right? So they went into this one, and, Trevor Blevins said they were right in it. They learned their structure. They learned to play in the D zone like they wanted him to. It's just this is a USHL All-Star team, and they're very, very good with a whole bunch of NHL draft picks. And so they really gave as good as they could. And They got a goal. Here's another USA goal here, but they got a goal to make it 3-1, I believe, at the time, and then everything was to play for at that point. I think a lot of SJHLers showed themselves very well. Obviously, great job by HN Live for bringing this beautiful feed.
Well, let's bring up the graphic of the SJHLers specifically here, guys in the back. We can bring that up and just kind of go over what each guy did.
So the USA won the game 5-1, by the way. The third goal was a goal that Rylan Hugh actually just kind of threw in front, and it went off of Noah Chatty of Canada West as well. He plays in the AJ, like a lot of these guys do. But there you go. There you see how the SJHLers did. Tommy was unbelievable. He looked as good as he does in the SJHL on a regular basis. Tay, had a rough very beginning start to his game against Sweden, but really calmed down. And hopefully, his injury doesn't look too bad. Looked like a D-man was pushed on top of him. And again, I hope he's doing okay. I think Herchak also kind of got hurt, didn't finish the tournament healthy either. Same with Teo. So, but other than that, those three guys at the top especially really had a huge impact. Obviously, Rylan impressed everybody enough to wear an A. Tommy was first option off the bench as a D-man pretty regularly, and then Stinton actually set up Huey on a shorthanded goal in that for Huey's goal. So that was cool to see two SJ guys connect wearing that Canada jersey. But these guys definitely represented us well. They battled so hard. They were in every game. It wasn't, with all due respect to the team last year, it wasn't like that in terms of how that team maybe got blown out a few times. This year, it was a real battle against very, very good teams, a very good opposition. And as I said, they won the game that they needed to win, and they're bringing home a silver medal. Good for them.
Congrats, everybody. And in just a couple of minutes, we're actually going to be joined by Wyatt Stinton. He's our guest today on the show of the Flin Flon Bombers, and we'll talk to him about his experience at the Junior A World Challenge. Let's take a look now at I don't know if it came up. I think Bryce said he skipped it in the highlight packages. So the Tourism Saskatchewan highlight of the week, we're going back to Weyburn. Well, I guess it was Warman, but we're going back to the Weyburn-Warman series, and we're having a look. This is unbelievable, Nugsy, on Corbin Allman. A good shot from Corbin Allman. This is Nate Stevens of the Weyburn Red Wings. I'm just going to back off and let you watch it. Unbelievable.
Now Leibel with a bid. Around the net comes Allman. Sharp angle shot over the net. Leibel now steps up. His shot kicked out. Rebound is there. What a save! Oh my goodness! Can you believe that? Nate Stevens putting on the Superman cape. Incredible save. That's a save of the year candidate. Oh my.
Jeez. Was that Ryan Flaherty on the call there? Mm-hmm. Ryan Flaherty, no, I cannot believe it. And to anybody who's involved, which is a lot of people who are involved in the show, in picking the highlight of the year, check that one, please. Kelly, if you're watching.
One of them.
Connor, if you're watching. Nugsy, check that one. That will be a candidate for the top, 3 or 5, whatever we do, 4. That's going to be included. That's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Nate Stevens. He just came off back-to-back Rookie of the Weeks, and he had the only week of any goalie with 3 wins this week and didn't win an award. Sorry, Nate. That's a spoiler for the Players of the Week segment coming up. Yeah. But he had 3 wins this week, didn't win an award. Crazy stuff, though. He's showing off his talent. It's wild. Big thank you to Chevrolet for sponsoring all of our highlight packages throughout the shows, of course. There we go. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly's paying attention. He
always does, this guy.
Actually, you know what? Before we get to news and notes, let's just have a look quickly at the league standings, because I didn't bring that up earlier. We talked about the divisional standings. Let's just have a look at the league standings. So we got Weyburn at the top right now, kind of separating themselves a little bit over the weekend with 42 points. Flin Flon's right behind them, of course. They split their weekend with Battlefords. Nipawin, Estevan tied for 37 points in 3rd and 4th. Kindersley at 35 points in 5th. Battlefords at 34 points in 6th. They have played, well, not quite the fewest games in the league, but of that top 8, they have played the fewest games. Humboldt with 32 points. They've crept back into a playoff spot after the weekend, getting 3 points there on the weekend. Yorkton didn't play, so that's why they probably fell out of a playoff spot. They didn't play this weekend. Melville solidified their spot and held on to that 8th spot now. They've separated themselves. Again, Yorkton didn't play. Melfort got a win, which is good for them. They needed it, but they're still sitting in 10th. They're 9 points out of a spot right now. Warman's in 11th, and Larange is in 12th, but Larange is tied with the fewest games played, so they have 4 games in hand on Warman right now. So we'll see what happens with those 4 games, if they might leapfrog Warman when the time comes. But regardless, it was a great weekend, Nugsy. Let's hear from you for Nugs and Notes.
It's Nugs and Notes, Nugs and Notes, Nugs and Notes, Nugs and Notes.
There you go. Here's that little guy
There he is.
hopping around.
Yep.
I'll have to bring him with me to Camrose maybe.
That'd be fun.
Give me my color guy.
He'd probably
That'd be
enjoy
awesome.
that.
He probably would. All right, just 3 moves there at the trade freeze deadline that kind of got in under the wire on the 10th. Rhett McCauley was traded from Laurent to the Winnipeg Monarchs of the MJHL. Carson Meyer, young forward with Battlefords, he went to the Northern Manitoba Blizzard. I guess that's the tip. We've been talking about that a lot, I guess. The Northern Manitoba Blizzard, a lot of guys that came from our league. So it's pretty interesting. Lots of familiar names on that roster. Take a look at it when you get a chance. And the biggest one probably was, as I mentioned there, Hudson Binder going to Melville from Weyburn. 2 goals in 2 games. He played in the Junior B League here in Ontario, which is a really good league, with Stratford, which is, of course, where Justin Bieber's from. And there you go. He started the year. Yeah, and he started the year in the BCHL, and it didn't work out there. And went to Weyburn, didn't work out there. But it seems like it's working out. Obviously, he's a big enough boy. Seems like he's getting an opportunity. So 2 in 2 games, an often guy can just jump right into a lineup and use that kind of jam of having a chip on your shoulder and just go out and play free, and good things can happen. And so we'll see if he keeps it going. But it's worked out for him. He didn't have any goals in 5 games for Weyburn. Again, I think it was a role thing more than anything. But there's something Doug Johnson likes in him, really clearly. So, interesting pickup there for Melville. And that's Nugs and Notes.
There you go, Nugs and Notes. Thank you, Nugsy. When we come back from this break, we are going to be joined by Wyatt Stinton of the Flin Flon Bombers, of course, with his newly acquired silver medal from the World Junior A World Challenge. And then later on in the show, Players of the Week, of course, but we also have our Santa gifts. Each team, Nugsy and I are giving each team a Santa gift. So make sure you stick around. While we're on the break, in the commercial break, hit the like button. Please hit the share button. We want to hear from you. Throw the comments in. Fill up the comment wall. It's our last SJHL Weekly before Christmas, so we want to hear from you. If you're watching and you're a fan of a team, let us know what you would give your team for Christmas. We want to hear from you. So with that said, we're going to hit a break, and when we come back, Wyatt Stinton of the Flin Flon Bombers. Stick around.
The Price Beat Guarantee is back at Capital GMC in Regina. We will beat any price on any new vehicle from any competitor, or you get $500 cash guaranteed. The Price Beat Guarantee at Capital GMC in Regina.
At Vatterstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vatterstad, we look forward to growing together.
Every ticket you buy funds programs all across Saskatchewan, like sports. Buy your tickets today.
In the last decade, the construction industry has reduced injuries by 46%. That's as many injuries prevented that would fill several stadiums. Find out more at scsaonline.ca.
Feeling like your dreams are out of reach? RBC has programs and resources to help you open the door. With RBCX Music, RBC Training Ground, and RBC Scholarships, your idea of your highest potential happens here.
Original 16. Celebrate things done well.
All right, welcome back inside for SJHL Weekly. Clark with Jamie. And we're going to be joined now on the video chat by Wyatt Stinton of the Flin Flon Bombers. Hopefully we got this working. Sounds like we do. Wyatt, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not so bad. We got it working. Everything's good to go. The guys said you were flipping your camera around and turning your mic on and off. And we got it. We got it. It's working great. So Wyatt, obviously just back from the Junior A World Challenge. Let's start there. Got the big win that you needed at the time you needed it most. Got to the gold medal game. What was that experience like playing Team USA in the gold medal game?
Oh, it was awesome. They were fast. I mean, that's a pretty skilled team over there. They got a bunch of USHL guys, and it was a good experience though playing. It was fast. Like, that was some really fast hockey and different systems. I mean, playing for Blevins, and he runs things a little bit differently here than Flin Flon. And but yeah, I mean, we won the game we needed to get to that gold medal game, and I couldn't be happier.
So obviously 6 SJHLers involved that you were there with. 2 didn't get to play in the final game, of course, with the 2 defensemen there. Or I guess 3 of them didn't get to play with Tay. But overall, 6 guys. What was it like being there with those other 5?
Oh, it was awesome. Definitely nice to see a couple familiar faces. I mean, I don't know some of those MJ guys, some of those AJ guys. So being able to chit chat with those guys off the start and get comfortable with them before everybody else was really nice. All great guys. I mean, can't complain about any of them. They were awesome the whole time. Definitely made a couple good new friends. So
that's awesome. Hey, you seem like you're good at that, Wyatt, at making friends. So there you go. I got to ask you about pressure, Wyatt, because obviously I feel like you put on that Canada jersey no matter what. There's lots of pressure. You put on your day job jersey, lots of pressure in a microcosm, because it's like, obviously we don't need to explain what it's like to be a Flin Flon Bomber to too many people around here. But I guess, did that help you a lot? I guess knowing that, like, the weight, the mantle of that responsibility of being a Bomber, being a Flin Flon boy, and then wearing that Canada jersey, did that help you a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure playing here. If you're anybody, but definitely being local is a lot harder by far. But no, it was awesome throwing on that jersey. It's such an honor. That's my first time. Hopefully it's not my last, but yeah, no, there's a lot of pressure with it. I mean, they pick the guys that they think can get a job done there, and yeah, I couldn't be happier.
Well, you mentioned it there before, and I'm hoping that you'll take us a little bit deeper even into what you just said there, Wyatt, about the difference between playing for Mike Reagan and what he does in Flin Flon and what Trevor Blevins did for you guys. And I don't know if it would be any different. It'd be interesting to ask Teo Flory if it was any different for what they do in Melfort. But I guess just talk about, if you could hammer maybe 1, 2, or 3 of those things that you feel are not better or worse, because obviously they're both legends in the SJHL between Reagan and Blevins, but that's different between Blevins and Reagan.
I mean, there was a lot of similarities. Like, I've seen a lot of similarities. It's always hard in the D zone first and then go to work in the O zone. So I think there was a little bit of, Eric, he's with Lloyd Minister. I'm sure there was a bit of his systems that he was bringing into the team. And then obviously Josh Gratton with the Winnipeg Blues. So I think that there was all 3 of those guys kind of came together and found what would work the best, I guess, for our team, especially. I mean, we were under the gun a lot playing against the U.S. and the Swedes. They had a lot of firepower. So, yeah, Blevy ran a really great bench. I mean, couldn't be happier with him. He was awesome the whole time, and definitely gave us a chance to win. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. I can't really pinpoint many differences.
One thing I've always wondered about, Wyatt, and obviously I've never been a part of a Team Canada myself. I've been a part of Team Sask a couple times for baseball in the past, but it's not the same. But what I'm trying to say is when 20 guys from different programs essentially come together, obviously everybody does something differently. Everybody does stuff differently. But one nice thing that you might have had in your back pocket was J-Rock was there with you and the equipment manager. So how nice was it to have the guy that you work with on a daily basis there kind of helping you take care of things off the ice?
Oh, that was awesome. He was definitely was definitely nice to see a real familiar face being out there. And I mean, he was awesome. I mean, all the guys loved him out there. The guys love him here. So he was sure having fun out there like he does here, which was nice to see. And yeah, no, it was really nice to get that experience, especially with J-Rock and bringing home silver with him, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, pretty cool. And obviously, we also have to huge shout outs to the legendary Emma Galloway, who was also there, the Nipawin Hawks athletic therapist, who's the best in the league probably. It might get somebody mad at me, but I think she's the best in the league at what she does. So that was cool to see the SJ representing so well there, Stinto. I got to ask you about that semifinal. Canada East had played very, very well through the group stage. They'd beaten, some people they weren't supposed to, in air quotes, and they were playing really good. Obviously, I know the GM of the team there in Collingwood, and his goalie Korovic apparently was awesome and is really highly touted. But you guys went in there and beat them, and it seemed like you played your system and played Blevins hockey and won your game there. But just talk about that, specifically that one game, and what went right for you guys.
It was, I mean, we knew we could beat them. We had 2 really close games with them earlier on in the tournament, and I think it was the second time we played them. I think that should have been our game. I really do. It was tight back and forth both ways, and then they ended up getting that one. But they play hard, and we just kind of took advantage of the way that they play, and we did a lot of video and really broke down their systems and the way that they play the game. And obviously Tommy Reese jumping up there on the penalty kill there was awesome to see. He was one of my favorite guys out there. We hung out the whole time. He was awesome, and he was awesome at that tournament. So it was really nice that he could get that one for us.
Yeah, Tommy's was unreal. As I said before, I don't know if Stinto you were watching, it was like, he looked the same as he does for the Yorkton Terriers. Like, he's so dominant. Physically dominant that way. It was pretty awesome. Stinto, I got to ask you about the Flin Flon Bombers too. Coming home. First of all, I made a little video there at the Martinsville showcase. I don't know if you watched it, where Fierson Lindorf tried to recruit a dude to come and play for the Wolverines on the mic'd up, which I thought was just hilarious. And it's not tampering because the players can talk to players. That's totally within the rules. But did you try to recruit anybody there? Kind of a joke, but not really. And then second of all, I guess just talk about trying to refocus and recharge and get ready to go back, to get back here on the wagon there with the Bombers, because as you know, there's no game for the Bombers that doesn't ever matter because you put on that jersey. It's probably a huge honor.
Yeah, no, it was really nice to get back last night. We had a real long travel day yesterday, me and J-Rock. So getting back today and seeing all the guys was awesome. I mean, I missed all those guys. Didn't get to talk to them as much as I wanted to out there. We were pretty busy all the time. So getting back here and seeing all those guys was awesome. And I can't wait to get back practicing tomorrow. And then the games, obviously, this weekend. So.
Did you have any FOMO? Like, was it hard to be like, oh man, like I want to play for both teams? Is that something that you thought about too, or?
Oh, absolutely. Last year, actually, one of my favorite road rinks to play in was North Battleford last year. So I was pretty upset that I got to miss that one. And then obviously getting that win on Saturday was really nice as well. And definitely missed that fun bus ride home with all the guys. So.
Well, a big weekend coming up for you, I guess, and then I'm going to let Nugsy hit you with some rapid-fire questions to end it off. But a big weekend coming up. You're back with the team now, facing the Larange Ice Wolves in a home and home. Now that you're back, what's the message, I guess, going into the weekend?
It's always just the same. Need to get 4 points. Obviously, going into the break, standings are super tight here. So if we could squeak out and get 4 points would be awesome. I mean, we take losing pretty hard here. So especially going into the Christmas break, nobody wants that sour taste in their mouth going home with a loss. So yeah, it's going to be pedal to the metal for this next weekend.
There you go. The message will also be, I can tell you, no snacks on the bus.
Right.
Unless you guys win. because that's Mike Reagan's thing. And, you know, that's why he said I could never be the Flin Flon Bombers broadcaster.
Well, you'll get to see them, because you're going to be calling Friday's game.
Well, that's right.
Game of the month.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Right here, we got the rapid fire here, Wyatt. Appreciate it. You ready to go? You ready to? Are you nervous? You look a little nervous. Don't be nervous.
No, I'm ready.
So, as Clark was mentioning there, the SJHL Game of the Month, the first one is in La Ronge on Friday. Myself, Rob Hart, and Sean Mullen will have the call for that one, and I should have used that in Nugs and Notes, would have been good. But that you know, Wyatt, so you have to pay attention because you're on the call right now. Pretty exciting stuff, but in one word, I want you to describe your style so that people can know what they can expect from seeing you play. One word.
Fast.
I like that. Good.
Another thing that I would use for your style is, you know, a little bit crazy, because you showed me this video when you guys were playing Humboldt, and I watched it too. There was a little bit of a scrum after the game where you were like, I'm going to grab somebody, and you grabbed like 6'8" Oliver Phillips. What went through your mind when you were like, oh, this guy's the one that I grabbed?
Well, I mean, it was kind of, during the game, don't really know the guy as a guy, I guess, but during the game, he plays hard, and we were going back at it a couple times during the game, and then when we went into that scrum, he grabbed onto me first, and I was a little nervous off the start, but it was
gotta hold on.
There you go.
Just gotta hold on.
There you go. It's about the size of the bomber and the bomber. I don't know.
There you go.
Anyways, okay. Favorite part of being from Flin Flon?
The history, probably.
Nice.
There's so much history here.
Yeah. What is the World Juniors are coming up? What is your favorite World Junior memory?
Ooh. One that really sticks out to me is Barrett Hayden when he had one hell of a tournament there. I can't remember where it was, but I can remember him against the Russians.
Very cool. Best thing to eat. What's the best concession at the Whitney Forum?
Ooh.
You know what? I really haven't ate much at this new concession. There was some new people took it over. I think it's Shorma actually took it over. So I'm sure those donair rolls are pretty good down there. So
wasn't there like a donair poutine or something that somebody was raving about?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of different like concession owners.
I'm jealous that you get to go there and give it a shot
over the years. Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to be in La Ronge.
Oh, right, it's in La Ronge. You're not even there. Right.
Yeah. We're going to check out the JRMCC.
Right.
Should be interesting. Two more questions. You kind of hinted. I don't know if it's your answer though. What's the best rink in the league other than the Whitney?
I would say Estevan probably. I haven't played there yet, but that's just such a really cool rink. But the favorite one that I've played in so far was North Battleford. I felt like it was quite a bit like the Whitney.
Yeah, that's fair. And Estevan is beautiful, as Clark knows very well. And maybe, and who knows, maybe that could be the final. It could be Flin Flon Estevan.
Yep.
Really could. And my travel will be nuts, but whatever. So will yours. So that's fine. Last question then for you, and I really appreciate it. I'd love to talk to every Flin Flon player about the Orange Toad. So what is your Orange Toad order?
It's not as cool as some of the other guys. I usually just go with the plain iced coffee.
Oh, okay.
I know some guys get pretty extreme. They like to switch it up all the time, but I've just been the regular iced coffee.
There you go. Well, there's Nugsy's Rapid Fire. Wyatt, appreciate your time today. We'll let you get back to work, and we'll talk to you again down the road, I'm sure.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
There we go. Wyatt Stinton of the Flin Flon Bombers, silver medalist at the Junior A World Challenge. We're going to hit a break, and when we come back, it's Players of the Week time. If you go online, you can check out sjhl.ca now. The article is up, but we'll announce them here, and then we're going to give out some gifts from Santa to teams across the league. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stick around till after the break.
Feeling left out of can't-miss moments? RBC has programs and resources to help you open the door. RBC clients get access to concerts, Avion rewards, and exclusive benefits. Your idea of memorable moments happens here.
Each year, the SCSA issues over 10,000 training certificates to the construction professionals who build our province. That is the same population as Weyburn. Learn more at scsaonline.ca.
every ticket you buy funds programs all across Saskatchewan, like arts and culture. Buy your tickets today.
Introducing SaskTel Student Saving Tips. Tip number 138. You could build your own pallet furniture.
So you're living on your own. You can save money by building furniture with pallets.
Or get Infinite 150 for only $50 a month with SaskTel student deals.
Original 16. Celebrate things done well.
All right, welcome back inside. One more segment here for the show. So let's get right into Players of the Week. It's that time. We had 6 great performances this week, so let's check out, we'll start things off with the SGEU MVP of the Week. A newcomer to this award, but boy, Nugsy mentioned it earlier, this guy is scoring like crazy right now. Finley Klippenstein of the Battlefords North Stars, 4 goals this weekend against the Flin Flon Bombers, and Nugsy, like you mentioned, he had 1 goal in his first 10 games. He has 15 goals since. Crazy numbers for Finley Klippenstein. The Borgo Industries Forward of the Week, we're going with Ewan Rennie. This guy's won a few awards, and this guy leads the league in points now with 4-point lead over Jacob Streets. He had 5 points this weekend in a big weekend against the Melville Millionaires. A big reason they won the game that they did win against Melville. We're going to the Super U Defenseman of the Week now, and that is going to your boy Vinny Palmerine. He had 5 points. Big weekend. Of course, there's 2 losses, but boy, did he have a great weekend numbers-wise, at least 5 points this weekend. Loving that for my fantasy team, as Vinny is a member of my team. Can't be upset. The SaskTel Goalie of the Week is going to Brady Holtvogt of the Humboldt Broncos. He had a 1-0-0-1 record, so he did help get 3 of the 4 points for the Humboldt Broncos over Melfort. .932 save percentage. He made 68 saves this weekend. Big weekend there for Brady and his return to the SJHL. Where are we at? The rookie, Sask Milk Rookie of the Week is going to Adam Savage Keller of the Weyburn Red Wings. 4 points this week for Weyburn. As we mentioned, they're on a roll right now. 4 games in a row they have won now. And Adam is putting up some points and helping them win those games. So big shout out.
With a really cool name.
Yeah, and a really cool name. Of course, Adam Savage, for those who might be like, hey, that name sounds familiar, Mythbusters. Okay. He's the guy from Mythbusters, if you ever watched that show. Shout out to Jordan in the back for mentioning that earlier.
Yep.
And then, of course, finishing off with the Cantera Seeds Saskatchewan Player of the Week. And this guy's familiar. He's won a few awards as well. Boston Harkness, 4 assist weekend. Again, big reason they got their win against Estevan, but a great player overall and a big weekend for him. Yeah, so anyways, there you go. Boston Harkness winning the Sask Player of the Week. There's your Players of the Week. Nugsy, there's a comment here on Facebook that I just want to bring up from Robert Koska. I think that's how you pronounce it. And his comment, this one, we don't talk about this often, so I just want to bring it up just so we can kind of get it out of the way. Did Rennie get plucked by BCHL? As of now, no. He had a great weekend. What he's maybe referring to is his rights, his CJHL rights got traded.
No, not CJHL.
Not CJHL, the BCHL rights got traded within the BCHL. That happens all the time. It doesn't really mean anything. So no, as of right now, there's nothing indicating that he's going anywhere. So we're good to go there. And he just got Player of the Week, so I think we're good. Ewan Rennie leading the league in scoring, having a great year for Estevan. But I think that's what Robert is referring to. Some people noticed that his BCHL rights got traded. Doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. I would like to mention too, Adrian Bay Reese, which I assume is Tommy's mom, mentioned that it was an amazing week.
Yeah.
The Junior A World Challenge.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
Thanks for messaging in.
Thanks for
Mrs.
commenting.
Reese.
Yeah.
Tommy's a great boy. I bug him probably more than he wants, but there you go.
There you go. All right, Nugsy, you've been doing it for years on this program. On SJHL Weekly, dating all the way back to when you and Rory started it. This is Santa Gifts. We do it every year. We've done it every year now for, I don't know what it's been, 6 or 7 years, I guess. Oops, sorry I said it. But it's always a fun time. We've picked each Last year with Rory, we each picked, I think, 4 teams. This year, you and I have both picked 6 teams, 2 from each division. So why don't you kick it off? Let's start in the Bungie division. I don't know what order you have your notes in, but why don't we start with Yorkton?
Sure.
Let's go with Yorkton first. What are we getting Yorkton for Christmas?
We're getting Tommy Reese back in one piece. That rhymes too.
Easy.
Back in one piece.
Reese and a piece. Reese's Pieces.
He's played a lot of hockey. He was a beast at the Junior A World Challenge.
Santa's checking in.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Santa. And just he's played a lot. He played at the Martinsville Showcase. Played in the Junior A Challenge. He's played every minute for Yorkton he could, even jumping on in his car after the Martinsville Showcase was over.
Wild.
Right to play in Larange against Yorkton, or for Yorkton.
Yeah.
So just Tommy Reese back in one piece.
Tommy Reese back in one piece. Reese's Pieces. Don Williams checking in. Late to the party, fellas. Hi, Don. Just wanted to say hi.
Hi, Don.
Speaking of Don Williams, Rylan Williams plays on the Estevan Bruins. So why don't I go to Estevan next? And for Estevan, I got them. Hold on, I gotta get my notes. I didn't have them up. Right-handed hockey sticks, Noobsy. I'm getting them a pack of right-handed hockey sticks.
Merry Christmas,
There you go.
everyone.
Thank you, Santa. Santa's really boisterous. I got them right-handed hockey sticks. They have a lot of left-handed defensemen. Could a big right shot impact D-man be in their future? Maybe under the tree? Well, it won't be because the trade freeze is on until January. But obviously Matthew Ron, Ethan Andrews, Jaron Ashby, Aiden Lang, Caleb Potter. A lot of talent on the left side, but a lot of left shots. Alex Sheck, Carver Shingoose, those are some right shots. Owen Breeze. So they have guys, but not regulars necessarily. Shingoose has been out, I think, with an injury recently. Sheck's been in and out with injuries, but he's around. He's obviously a veteran. So could they look for a big-time right shot guy? Time will tell. But maybe that's the final piece to this puzzle after Estevan's been on off a very impressive start. So
it'll be interesting to see if Drew's doing some talking to some players at the show. I'm just kidding. The Viking Cup.
Who knows?
Just kidding.
But right-handed hockey sticks. I'm just going to send them a pack and see what happens. There you go. You're up, I guess, and you'll go with Weyburn.
Sure. Popcorn. Lots of popcorn.
Jordan likes
Found out
popcorn.
that our producer Jordan in the back there has eaten over 1 million kernels of popcorn.
That's what
we think. So the Weyburn Red Wings, you have a great team, maybe the best in our league. If you keep playing like you are, it's going to be a fun ride. So enjoy it with some nice popcorn.
Just popcorn. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thanks, Santa.
And maybe something for maybe a nice toy as well for Cody Mapes' dog. Because Cody Mapes' dog is a beauty.
Yeah, that's a great dog.
And I never remember his name.
Yeah. I'll finish off the Bungie division with Melville and Nugsy. I'm giving them bricks. Why bricks, you might say? Because I'm going to get them to build a wall in front of the net with these bricks because they haven't found their scoring touch quite yet. They're 8th in the league for goals for, but they're also 8th in the league for goals against, which is weird for a Doug Johnson team. Of course, that's skewed from earlier on in the season. They gave up a few big games, but they have a -4 goal differential. So if they're not going to be scoring the goals, they need to be stopping the goals. And Matthew Spencer-Dahl maybe is the answer to that. Maybe that's changing things. But they have pieces to score. They've shown signs of it. But from our knowledge, I don't know all the story here, but Jackson Lee is no longer with the team. He had 9 goals for them, so now they have to figure out how to fill that hole. Leo Jewett's going to be out for a little bit. He's missed some time. I don't know what the story is there. But they have guys like Wesley Olson, Devin Winder, guys maybe like Braden Gorley step up, the newcomer Jack Drake. So they have guys that could step up. It's just either way. In the meantime, they need to start keeping the pucks out a little bit more. So I'm giving them some bricks. Build a wall, see what happens. Maybe Matthew Spencer-Dahl is those bricks. So there you go. There's Melville. Let's move on to the Nutrien division. Nugsy, why don't you kick things off with that division with Warman?
Yeah, just some seasoning. So like you can use it for your turkey as we get to Christmas. So some spices and also just some seasoning for the players. Youngest team in the league at an average age of just above 18. So 18.31. Melville is second youngest at 18.48, by the way. Warman is by far the youngest team in this league, as usual. So just some seasoning.
A little Lowry's seasoning salt?
Some cumin, some salt, some pepper.
Yeah, good. I'll go with Humboldt, and I'm going to give them a doctor's note. Just stay healthy, please. They were a top 3 team for half the season, and then maybe I'm blowing this out of the water because you mentioned it earlier. It hasn't been like disastrous, but the team went off the rails a little bit, and I don't think they've forgotten how to play hockey. They just need to stay healthy. Maybe a couple of guys need to step up their production as well. And I hate to call people out, but like 20-year-old Zach Bansley, he's a very impactful player. He's been around for a long time in junior A hockey. He has 1 goal in 28 games. So maybe guys need to maybe step up a little bit. But largely, I really just think with Humboldt, it's health. Health is the biggest factor. So a doctor's note for Humboldt. Nugsy, why don't you take Kindersley?
Yeah, just all of Connor Tate's time. Because he does an amazing job, but he's doing a lot of things all over the place. Golf, and he did lots of things with his company Player. But their media guy's the best in the league by a country mile, probably the best in North America by a country mile. So just all of Connor Tate's time.
Just more content.
More Connor Tate's content.
Out of
they do lots of content. They do the best in the league, but just even more.
Why not?
That's all I want.
I'll finish off the nutrient division with Battlefords, and this is maybe wishful thinking. But I'm going to say ingredients for s'mores, Nugsy. But I'm spelling that S-M-O-O-R-S. Kent Moors. Maybe they need some more Moors.
Oh, man.
Because they traded for the rights to Kent Moors in the offseason from the Estevan Bruins, as you may recall. We talk about it all the time, so I can't believe anybody would not remember that, because we literally bring it up almost every episode. But obviously Estevan is saying thank you almost daily for that trade. It worked out really well in their favor. Now, Kent Moors, is he going to come from the BCHL? He's got 14 points in 17 games for Sherwood Park. I think he's like on their top line, so I doubt it. But one can always dream, and I feel like
they're doing okay.
Getting a guy like him would shift the entire structure of that roster, and it would really give a team that's already red hot a huge boost. So ingredients for s'mores. That's my answer for Battlefords.
Nice.
Let's move up to the UPL division. You can kick it off with Flin Flon.
Sure. 2 quick ones. Hammer. Give them a hammer to break any game tape from past years. This is a fresh chance. Don't worry about sort of the failures of the past.
Okay.
And whatever. Just you have the pieces this year to make noise. Keep it going. And money for your bus, because they're trying to raise money for their bus.
There you go.
So just a nice big DeSantis-sized donation, or maybe just the bus.
But
just
a straight
let's
up
just
bus.
try to be like, I guess could have just said the bus, but money for the bus.
There
you go.
Santa can't afford a full bus. That's expensive.
He
can chip in a little
presents
bit.
for everybody.
Yeah, he can chip in a little bit.
about that?
He's got a lot of people to tend to.
He's a rich man, though.
Well, yeah, you're right. I'll go with the Nipawin Hawks, and I'm going to give them dumbbells. Why? Why dumbbells? Because they might as well just keep strengthening what they already are strong at, and that's their offense. They just added Braden Jockums to the mix. To me, I think he's going to be one of the best players the rest of the way. And switching their lineups to having Mason Karkachuk with Eric Hoynes and Braden Jockums on that top line, again, strengthening a strength. They've shown that they can shut teams down, Nugsy. The wild thing is we talk about how good their forward group is. They are the #1 team in goals against as of today. They are the #1 team. So if they can continue doing what they're doing, they're only 6th in goals for.
Yeah.
If they push that even further higher, holy cow.
If they can figure out their power play.
If they can figure out their power play,
That's
maybe
it.
a guy like Braden Jockums is going to be the answer to that. Who knows? But 6th in goals for, they're #1 in goals against. If that 6 goes a little bit higher, holy cow, that is a dangerous combination, because they're already keeping goals out. So now they just need to continue, because they've been on a really good pace lately, putting goals in the other end of the ice. So I'm saying dumbbells to strengthen what they're already strong at. There you go. Nugsy, I think you have L'Orange.
Yeah, it's the last one. Yeah, for me. A laser beam. Just a big laser.
A shark with a laser beam?
They create lots of chances. They work very hard. They just can't seem to get that big goal when they need it. They get chances. It doesn't go in for them, and then the other team seems to come back the other way and score. Talked to Kevin Kaminski a bunch. He feels like this happens over and over again. So just a little bit of laser beam for some precision.
There you go.
Just to bear down on some of those chances. Again, they're a young team. A lot of promise. Going to be tough to play against, but they just need that one goal to go in.
A shark with a freaking laser beam on its head. Lasers. I guess I'll finish it off then with Melfort. And Nugsy, I'm giving them a step ladder. Because somebody on that team needs to step up. Or multiple guys, I guess. They're 4th best in goals against right now, which coming into the season, you and I probably would have said, yeah, no, that makes sense that they'd be 4th best in goals against. But Nugsy, they are 2nd last in goals for. This team is playing the Blevins way, but that is usually accustomed to also having some elite guys on that top line. We think of how many elite players they've had a couple years ago. Obviously, Ryan Duguay comes to mind. That line that was just so good and so dominant, put up a ton of goals, a ton of points every single night. But they don't have that right now this year. They don't have a line or a couple of guys, a dynamic duo that are doing that. So they need a handful of guys to step up and start putting the puck in the net. Because otherwise, I think they're a legit team. We've been saying it forever this season. So they can keep goals out. They haven't been able to put goals in. So I'm giving them a step ladder for somebody to step up. There you go. There's their Christmas gifts this year, Nugsy. That was a fun one. It always is fun.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Santa. Nugsy, let's have a look at Tuesday and Wednesday's schedule because we got 5 games this midweek. It's a busy midweek for us. Tomorrow night, Weyburn will be in Yorkton for a big Bungie Division clash, and Humboldt will be in Battlefords. That's a huge Nutrien Division clash. So that a couple of big division games on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, I know on the graphic here it says December 16th. It's December 17th. We all know this. A UPL Division clash with Larange and Nipawin. Kindersley will be in Warman for a Nutrien Division battle, and then the Battle of the Mells. They just saw each other not that long ago. Melville at Melfort for a big one on Wednesday night, Nugsy. It's a big weekend coming up too, but just focusing on the next couple of days. Final word to you. What's coming up that you're looking forward to in the next couple of days here?
Yeah, I mean, can Humboldt build off a good weekend? Preseason, we thought maybe they're the best team in the league, based on their roster and the way that Charlie Tritt started.
Yeah.
Can they get him back soon? My understanding is he's not really in danger of missing the Viking Cup. He's just kind of day-to-day.
Okay.
But can the Broncos build on that? And also, every time, even the last couple of years, whenever Warman/Notre Dame played Kindersley, they were just barn burners.
Yeah.
So, check out that Warman-Kindersley game. It should be a doozy.
Yeah. Really good. And a lot of divisional battles coming up, so rivalry time. And it's our last week before the Christmas break. It's our last SJHL Weekly before the Christmas break. We'll be back on Thursday with SJHL Insider. And I'll let you kind of wrap this up with the big Friday night, because we have a Friday night spotlight this week. And it's going to be Flin Flon at Larange, which is also happens to be the SaskTel Game of the Month, first one of the year. So, Nugsy, I'll let you kind of wrap up the show with all of that.
Yeah, it should be
Friday
fun.
Night Spotlight and
the
the Game of the
Bamboo
Month.
Shoots boys will be up there. Myself, Jacob Faith will be up there, I think, activating a Nutrien game night as well throughout the sponsor. So Clark and I will be doing the Canalta Hotels, Game of the Week.
Friday Night
presented
Spotlight.
by Game of the Friday Night Spotlight presented by IKS Media as well. So we got tons of content coming up this week. So just because this is the last show, SJHL Weekly show, we got lots coming up. Should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be sending out some Viking Cup related graphics soon as well. Should be a lot of fun as well. Those boys have been really a treat to deal with already. I know it's going to be a great time. So, here we go. It's going to be a busy December, but should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, 5 games coming up over the next couple of days. SJHL Insider, Friday Night Spotlight for Canalta Hotels, and the SaskTel Game of the Month. It's an exciting week as we wrap things up before the Christmas break. And of course, once we're back from the Christmas break, the trade freeze will be lifted, and that'll bring a whole new ball game of conversations. It's going to be a good time. Thank you to Bryce, Jordan, and I think Ryan was involved back there today in the back room. No, just Bryce and Jordan.
We got it.
Yeah, you guys got it. Appreciate you guys, as always, for doing everything you guys do to keep us going. Nugsy, of course, Director of Graphics, Kelly upstairs, doing all his work for Players of the Week and everything else he did, obviously, to get our show looking sharp. And, of course, you, the viewer and listeners on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or if you're listening on the podcast after we put the podcast out. Appreciate you. It's been a great week. It's one more big week until the Christmas break. So enjoy the hockey, everyone, and we'll see you guys on Thursday for SJHL Insider. Bye for now.
From the north to the prairie sky, the echoes roar, we can't deny. Bus wheels turning, miles to go, frozen roads and the radio glow. SJHL caught in the soul, Clark and Jamie on patrol.